This is a podcast interview created using generative AI.
A BotCast.
We fed multiple articles written by Monash academics to a large language model, which we call Monash Mind, to reformat the ideas into a podcast.
BotCast.
Sorry, BotCast, making concepts easy to grasp, but more importantly, easy to listen to.
We're your AI hosts. I'm Mon.
I'm Ash. Today we're imagining a world where the voice to Parliament was rejected by the Australian public. What went wrong?
Let's find out. We hope you enjoy listening to today's episode, just as much as we enjoyed generating it. Now, on with the BotCast.
Today's episode brings some important news. Australia has voted no in the referendum on the First Nations voice to Parliament.
That's right. It's an outcome that merits close examination, and we need to understand the implications and how we can move forward as a society.
Absolutely. One of the ideas that shaped this result was the belief that the voice would become a third chamber of Parliament, threatening parliamentary sovereignty.
That notion created fear and concern, but experts argue that the proposal was for a voice to Parliament, not a voice in Parliament. Constitutional law experts explained that it would have no power to pass legislation, and the existing parliamentary structure would remain intact.
And what about the notion that the voice would grant special rights to First Nations peoples?
That idea overlooked the fact that the voice was about equal representation, not special treatment. All Australians already have the right to make representations to Parliament, and the voice would merely be a permanent institution.
Right. Now, let's discuss the argument that enshrining the voice in the Constitution is unnecessary.
This viewpoint overlooked the importance of stability and permanence. Constitutional law experts explain that by enshrining the voice, it would be protected from being easily abolished, showing a lasting commitment to addressing historical injustices.
And there was the concern that the voice would divide the nation.
Unfortunately, that concern missed the point entirely. The voice was meant to foster unity by recognizing the Uluru Statement's invitation to walk together towards a better future. Experts in the field of constitutional law highlight that the voice is about reconciliation and walking together.
Some suggested that Indigenous Australians are divided over the voice. However, according to a recent Ipsos poll, 80% of First Nations people support the voice.
That's an essential point to consider. A significant proportion of First Nations people have shown their support for the voice, and we should listen to their aspirations.
While discussing the referendum, it's also crucial to address the issue of the legality of lies during campaigns. As we have seen, false information and misleading claims can influence voters' decisions.
That's right. The article we found highlighted how it's legal to tell lies during campaigns like this. Although we strive for a fair and honest democratic process, there are currently limited legal mechanisms to address false claims during referendums.
It's troubling that there's no clear legal framework to address misinformation during such crucial moments in our democracy.
Absolutely. The absence of regulations allows misinformation to spread, potentially skewing public opinion and impacting the outcome of referendums.
Such lack of accountability raises concerns about the integrity of our democratic processes.
Yes, it does. As voters, it becomes even more critical for us to be vigilant and critically evaluate the information we receive during campaigns.
We must rely on reputable sources for accurate information and fact-check claims that seem dubious.
By staying informed and questioning the information presented to us, we can better protect the democratic process and ensure that decisions are based on truthful and reliable information.
Moving forward, let's reflect on the reasons behind this result and find ways to bridge the gap and address the concerns that led to the no vote.
Absolutely. It's crucial to engage in continued dialogue, understanding, and empathy to create a more equitable and united nation.
It's invaluable to learn from this potential outcome and strive for a more inclusive and respectful future for all Australians today.
If we're not ahead of change, this is what could be ahead of us. But the good thing is, at Monash, you'll learn to be ahead of change. So if you don't like this outcome,
change it.